What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, and we are going to continue flying through this preseason film. I'm absolutely loving it. I hope you guys are loving it too. If you are, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here, and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of Trent Simpson, because that's who we're talking about today. The debut of starting will linebacker Trent Simpson. Obviously, we've seen him in the past, and there's been a lot of good things to look at, and now we get to see just a little bit more as we dive into him in that kind of starting spot, replacing Patrick Queen. And yes, I will continue to mock Patrick Queen, who left us for a rival, but I really think we're going to get to the point either this year or next where we're not too worried about that. I think we're going to get a really, really solid 80% of the production of Patrick Queen at 20% of the cost, with the ability in the next couple of years to far exceed that 80%, because I'm seeing a lot of good things from Trent Simpson. And, the narrative around him online was kind of all over the place. I was a little surprised because I was really happy watching him live, and then when I broke down the film, I was even happier. And so one thing that you're going to hear me highlight consistently throughout this video is linebacker keys. And, I know a lot of people were talking about, making tackles past the line of scrimmage. We're going to kind of see where, he's filling his gap, doing his role, and coming back and making a tackle off of someone else's gap. And that's not to blame everyone around him. It's just the reality of what this game kind of showed. And it really showed his ability to flow in traffic, hit gaps, get off blocks, make tackles. He finished this game with 9 tackles. He only had 1 missed, and it was a little bit of a questionable miss. Looked pretty good in coverage too. I tried to throw a couple coverage snaps in. Wasn't a whole lot, but when he was in coverage, he looked good. He looked fluid, and he also added 2 pressures, I believe it was, in the pass rush. So let's get into it. Let's get started. A lot of run defense. So here we're going to see Simpson, number 23 on your page, and we're going to kind of start with taking a look at those linebacker keys. So we're going to see the Eagles are going to run that inside, or is that inside zone? Yeah, inside zone. So Simpson's going to step up on the center, and so that's his side of the field. He's going to fill this gap here. Chris Board's going to step up and fill that backside block, and as he does, Simpson sheds his man and makes that tackle from behind. But this is kind of what I'm talking about. So Simpson's stepping up to fill his gap, and in doing so, comes back over to make the tackle. Is that Brody, 96? Yeah, that's Brody. So Brody sheds his guy, and then has to get help from Trenton Simpson there. So that's what I mean. So Trenton Simpson makes the tackle. It's a couple yards downfield, but it's not going through the gap that he's keying in on, and that's really what's important to me, is seeing him execute his role, because once he has Patrick Queen. Once he has Roquan Smith beside him, it's going to look a lot different. So this one I just threw in. I know it's a pass play, but just the way he's going to run through the center's face on the screen, violent, physical, all things to describe his game. See, boom, gets off, makes that tackle. So this is one of those plays where a smaller linebacker can kind of get ridden out in space, and instead Trent Simpson actually pops him. You can see it right there. He pops him, sheds him, makes the tackle. So this is stuff that I want to see consistently from Trent Simpson. I think one of the biggest things Patrick Queen started doing well when he started playing a lot faster was making that early contact on guys and creating that separation and just playing physical, violent football. And it took a couple years too long that I wanted for Patrick Queen. So to see Trent Simpson playing fast, playing physical right out the gate, I think that's what's got me so excited. So here we're going to see a nice flow in traffic, and this is kind of what I mean by his ability to flow. He's getting outside. He's trying to make sure that, because we got a puller here, he's going to kick out Joe Evans, and so he wants to make sure that if the runner takes that outside, he can get there, but also square up so that if he follows the lead blocker here, he can come back inside, which as he does, he's going to take on the contact there, shed him, get around that tight end to make the tackle, or make an assist on the tackle that Josh Ross was making. So again, just that ability to flow in traffic and get off blocks. So as that tight end's coming through, he's not getting sealed. I think that's one of the biggest things that I get worried about with some of these young linebackers, is getting lost in the wash. And I just didn't see that from Trent Simpson in this game. Same thing here. So he's going to step up. So this is what I mean. He's playing his key, and then he's going to come back and make the tackle. So this was one of the plays, I think it was this exact play, where someone, said, yeah, Simpson has a lot of tackles, but they're all downfield. So we're going to see, this is going to be a duo concept. So you got the double teams on the interior defensive lineman here. If he fills the gap here, you're going to have two linebackers on one gap, and they're just going to, seal. They're going to try and combo up to Simpson here. Ball carrier is going to go outside. Makes a lot more sense. Ross is going to fill here. Simpson's going to fill here. He gets in there, gets his hands on the blocker. See that extension? He's able to get off of him and come back inside as the duo concept worked, right? You're going to get the double on Urban, who's anchoring quite well here. Lyman's trying to get to Ross, and that's what's going to spring the block, and that's exactly where the running back's looking. So he's going to look up, try and cut off that, but as he does, Simpson got off his block, didn't get washed, and is able to make the tackle. So this is where I think the nuance, and this is why this angle is so important, right? You can't really see this when you're watching live. It does look like he's just chasing down tackles and making them down the field. But once you kind of get into, okay, what was his responsibility, and then what did he do after he took care of his main mission? What did he do after? So I think that's really what's so important and why I wanted to highlight this. So here we're going to get another one. So it's going to be inside handoff. Simpson comes back in, makes the tackle. Easy play there for him. This was one where I think he got sucked in a little bit. So this is one of the areas where I'd like to see him improve. So we're going to get another duo concept. So there you got the doubles on the interior defensive lineman. And this is his gap. You can see Ross stepping up here. Pretty much similar to that other play that we just looked at, but they're reversed. So Simpson was where Ross is, and Ross was where Simpson is. And so what I'd like to see is, as he reads this, getting up in that gap. That's kind of the next step, right? He kind of waits here, and then he's waiting where the double team is, and that can be a dangerous game. That's where he can get washed. He does get off the block here well, but that's kind of a chase down tackle. So I'll give, if anybody was negative about Trenton Simpson's play, I'd give him that rep, because that one was, I'd like to see him stepping up into that gap, playing a little bit more upfield on that one. That's where I think he's going to go from being good to great and, taking that next step. And this is, again, that block shedding. So he's going to get up and he's going to pop and make the tackle. Like, this is stuff that, I don't know, like, this is physical football. He's out there popping linemen and making tackles. So I don't know. This was the thing that I was so excited about, was just his ability to play that physical this early in consistent playing time. So I'm excited. See, and does it again here. So we're gonna key in. He's gonna fill that A gap. He's gonna read, and what he's reading is that pulling guard. So he knows that guard's coming around here, around the down blocks, and he's going to get out there, and he's going to pop that guard. Boom. And as he does, you see the guard actually get stood up there, and then he gets in and makes that tackle. I could do a whole thread on just, Trenton Simpson popping or offensive linemen. You don't usually see that. He was out there bullying guys. Here he is on the edge. This was something he did in college at Clemson. So he's able to kind of make that chase down tackle and show that explosive speed that he has. So showing a little bit of versatility there to be able to play a little bit of edge when he needs to. And I tried to throw in a couple pass coverage snaps here. This is just going to be him in a hook zone. He's going to feel that inside breaking route here where he's kind of breaking inside, and he's going to try and jump that route. So if Pickett threw that, he would have had a nice little break on that ball. So nice to see good feeling and coverage there for him. And then here we have him in man against a tight end inside here. And he's just going to pop and then run. So he's trailing a little bit there, but he's got that explosive recovery speed to kind of catch up there. So that's what I have on I keep calling him Patrick Queen. I think that's where he's going to get eventually. But that's what I got with Trenton Simpson. So I'm really excited. I think that is some violent football. I think that's Baltimore Raven defensive football. And I don't know. I haven't seen too many linebackers kind of in their first couple years out there popping offensive linemen like that. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Am I overreacting? Is this the first step in Trenton Simpson taking over that will linebacker role and making us forget about Patrick Queen, let me know. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.